Only a select group of sportsmen possess the physical control and icy nerve to become royalty in the realm of sharpshooters. The best of the best have come to discover who should be crowned king, the King of 2 Miles. Welcome to the King of 2 Miles, presented by Bartline Barrels, coming to you from the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico. I'm Ted Jones. Joining me in the booth today will be Paul Phillips. Take a look at the qualifying format. Target number 1, 5 shots. The other 3 targets, only you get 3 shots. You have to hit at least one of those targets one time. If you don't, you're out. You don't move on. So let's find out about these targets. The first one, 1,550 yards, not quite a mile. It's only 24 inches by 37 inches. Same size for target number 2, which is 1,715 yards. Target number 3, 30 inches by 37 inches, just over a mile. And target number 4 is 1.13 miles, same size, 30 by 37 inches. It's still early on day 1 of qualifying here at King of 2 Miles, and our first shooter, Kirk Young, is getting ready. It's been a difficult competition so far, so we asked ballistics expert Brian Litz about some of the things that shooters have to cope with.
A minute of angle is 1 inch every 100 yards. So at 2 miles, 3,500 yards, for example, 1 minute of angle is 35 inches. So a minute of angle is about 3 feet at 2 miles. But that same angle comes down to, 5 inches at 500 yards, 1 inch at 100 yards. And at 1 mile, it's 17 inches or so because it's 1,760 yards to a mile.
Here's our first shooter, Kirk Young, on target number 1.
5 minutes right.
And a miss.
Elevation's okay.
How much? Way to the right.
5 minutes right. Left. Impact.
Notice the spotter there. He was giving him confusing information. It's really important when you're the shooter to give positive information, correct information. All this stuff, obviously, as you can see, he missed way to the left there. All this stuff makes a difference when you're trying to put a good shot on target here. So let's see if they can get it straightened out.
2 misses.
It's crucial that the spotter can relay this information to the shooter.
Half a plate low.
Now watch the recoil on this rifle. He has some serious caliber in there.
Just because you have a bigger caliber doesn't mean they're going to be more effective at these ELR ranges. The communication with the teamwork, that's crucial. They need to know where they're hitting and how to adjust.
Last try right here, shot number 5. Oh, he missed again, folks. He will not qualify even on target number 1. Let's look at what happened. He was all over the place, all around the target except on it. We asked Kurt, what did you do wrong?
I don't know what happened. I don't know if the wind kicked up on me a little bit there. My first shot was 5 minutes left. I held that 5 minutes and still hit 5 minutes left. I held 10 minutes and I was right under the target.
Now, coming up next, our female competitor. This is Tessa Wyrick. Her spotter is Walt Wilkinson. Tessa and Walt are largely responsible for the hard work of setting the targets on the rugged Whittington Center terrain.
We want the common man to be able to hit these things. So we went a lot bigger with the targets and also went thinner at greater distances so that we could see them swing when we hit them. Because we have to walk them in, hang them off the side of cliffs for good background, is that they're modular. The frames themselves break down into pieces so that we can carry them in. One target is 400 yards off the road, contouring or on the side of the slope. We didn't want chain being hit by rounds and then breaking, so we're using 3-inch wide, half to 3/4 inch thick conveyor belt. I wanted a solid backstop so that the spotters could see impact and high enough up off the ground. So it is a challenge shooting up at these angles, but you're able to see where the rounds impact so you can adjust your shooter on the target.
Very interesting. Coming up next, Tessa Wyrick will be competing when the King of 2 Miles, presented by Bartline Barrels, returns.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Burger Bullets, the highest levels of precision. Bartline Barrels, cutting edge of barrel technology. And by McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, molding the way America shoots.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center outside Raton, New Mexico, and the King of 2 Miles competition presented by Bartline Barrels. Well, our next shooter will be Tessa Wyrick from Pruta, Colorado.
Tessa's shooting the big 50 BMG with an 802 grain bullet. Let's see how that bullet performs.
Looks like a miss on the first shot, just a little low.
Up 0.4, right 1.1.
So he told her to come up. She went up a little too high on that one. Another miss.
Up 0.2, right 0.8.
Yeah, Walt is a full-time instructor, so he does this stuff for a living.
That one worked. Nice hit right there.
Up 0.2, right 0.8.
Just a little low.
Edge, right 1.
That was good that he saw that impact, and he's giving her quick commands.
And another miss, but you know what? It only matters with points. Let's take a look at how she did. She did have one, and that's all she needs to be able to go on to the second target. Her spotter Walt's going to be shooting later, so Paul, is that going to help him later on, having been a spotter?
It won't help him as much as what you'd think, because the temperature is going to change, the wind current's going to change. The distances that we're shooting, you have to have all this stuff perfect. So each shooter will have independent variables that they'll have to master.
Unfortunately, another miss.
Yeah, that was low, about 2 feet.
Last chance. This is the dreaded second target. More shooters have a problem getting past this.
Yeah, Walt saw that impact and he made an adjustment.
That was way high.
So she only hit one on target number 1. We talked to her and asked her, what do you think was the biggest problem in transition?
The elevation changes between targets. That's a big change for your rear bag, and so you're kind of high on the front in the bipod. But I am the monkey. My spotter is the shooter, so I'm doing what he tells me. I'm trying to do it as best I can.
We'll take a pause from the competition and go to the Welcome Center, catch up with our curator, and talk about high caliber collections. This one is old.
What we have here is what we call a matchlock. And this is the very first firearm that was ever designed to be fired by one man. The early Chinese guns, it took 2 men, one to hold it, one to light it. But this gun was actually designed to be fired by one individual. And the way it worked was this rope, they'd light this rope and it would smolder, okay? And when they pulled the trigger, that smoldering rope would fall into the pan where the gunpowder was and hopefully ignite it. The obvious drawbacks to this is very sensitive to any kind of weather at all. Wind, rain especially, they just weren't very effective, but it was the beginning of what we call modern firearms. This particular gun was made in Japan in about 1520. And when you look at the craftsmanship that's in this, it's amazing what they could do even back in the early days.
Our next shooter is the defending champion. His name is Mitchell Fitzpatrick. He and Paul talked about Bartline Barrels.
We have Mitchell Fitzpatrick with Lethal Precision Arms and Derek Rogers with the U.S. Rifle Team to talk a little bit about Bartline Barrels and how they play a role in today's technology with barrels and ELR community. Mitch?
Yeah, so we use Bartline barrels on pretty much all of the 375 builds that we're doing anymore. We choose Bartland because they're really the state of the art. They're probably the #1 in the industry for barrel making. A lot of that has to do with their quality control, but also their manufacturing techniques. They're all single point cut rifled, and all of their rifling machines are CNC. The options they offer are second to none as far as custom twist rates or anything like that. The performance is unreal. All of the rifles we build, half MOA rifles, no problem. So you put that all together, and it's really, in our opinion, the best barrel on the market. So that's why we use Bartland.
Derek, can you tell us a little bit about your recent national record with the Bartland barrel?
So when I changed over to Bartline barrels, I started getting tighter groups, more X count, and I've managed to shoot 3 of the last 4 national records with Bartline barrels. So I'm getting a really good performance, and every single one is very consistent without fouling and issues that I've inherently seen with other barrels.
More of King of 2 Miles presented by Bartline Barrels after this. Welcome back to the King of 2 Miles presented by Bartline Barrels. Our next shooter will be the defending champion, Mitchell Fitzpatrick. We see him right here getting ready. We caught up with him earlier and said, how long have you been doing shooting professionally?
I started gunsmithing when I was 14. And I wanted to get into long-range shooting and building custom rifles, or shooting custom rifles, but as a high school student, you can't really afford to do that. So I kind of became a self-taught gunsmith to build my own rifles. Then when I was 16, I built the rifle completely from scratch, built the action and everything, started shooting F-class competition, and the ball's just been rolling ever since.
Shooter ready. Now talk about some heavy coaching right here. Paul Phillips has left the booth. He will be coaching Mitchell along with Emil Praslik, who coached Paul. First shot is a miss.
1 minute left. Hold 1 minute left.
But they're telling him go 1 minute left. They're giving him some coaching. Let's see if it works.
Center mass, Mitch.
Second shot was a hit. So they've got the correction made. They've got him onto the target now. They'll try and get him more to the center.
Center mass, Mitch. Right down the pipe.
Another hit. Still a little bit more adjustment.
Same shot. Center mass, Mitch.
Shot 4, another hit. 3 hits out of 4. Let's take a look at exactly how he did. Folks, shot number 5, almost dead in the middle. That's incredible. He'll move on to the elusive second target. Seems like if you get past this one, you can do pretty well.
Yep. Well, I still have the same 0.
Now, Paul comes over and talks to him. They're preloading the scope to allow for Coriolis and spin drift. Coriolis is literally the rotation of the Earth, and that makes a big difference when you start getting as far away as these guys are.
All right, Mitch. Send it when you're ready.
Now, let's see if this preloading works out.
Good.
First one, it certainly did. They got that right. Second shot. The preloading did pay off. Three out of 3. Excellent job for Mitchell Fitzpatrick. You can see, look at that. Out of all the shots, he's only had 1 miss so far. Now they'll get ready for the third target. We're now over 1 mile away, folks.
Okay, Mitch. When you're ready, send it.
Both the spotters concentrating. Mitchell concentrating.
Look good.
First shot
Same
hits.
shot. Center hold.
Mitchell's also using applied ballistic solutions like Paul did. Oh, and a slight miss. Now they'll make adjustments. Listen. They told him half right.
That's better.
You hear Paul say that's better? Before the bullet hits, he's watching the trace of the bullet, folks. Target number 3, 2 out of 3, not bad. He goes to number 4. Here's the question. Can Paul coach Mitchell to do what he did, and that is hit all 3 on the 4th target? Tough to do.
Okay, center hold.
Only Paul has ever done it.
Center hold when you're ready.
Over 1 mile away.
Looks good.
Shot number 1, and a miss, unfortunately.
Come half right, Mitch. Half
So
right.
he won't match Paul. He's had 1 miss already. But remember, he's only got to hit 1 out of 3 to get to the finals. And there it is. So he will be in the finals. You hear him tell him to go half right. Now it's after points. And a miss. Doesn't matter really, though. He's into the finals. Not as many points. But look at that. A marvelous job by Mitchell Fitzpatrick, our defending champion. We ask him, is time a factor?
The nice thing about having extra time is that we know we're efficient in what we're doing, because last thing you want to do is run out of time. So if you know you can finish ahead of time, that means hopefully we make it into the final round, and when we go to the finals, we know we can do it in the time we have.
Before we go to break, we'll tell you the next shooter is Derek Bowling. We'll have that when King of 2 Miles, presented by Bartline Barrels, returns to the NRA Whittington Center. Stay with us.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Lone Star Field Products, the world's most precise rifle rest. Applied Ballistics LLC, the science of accuracy. And by Stiller's Actions, building the highest precision custom rifle actions in the world today.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico, and the King of 2 Miles, presented by Bartline Barrels. Well, our next shooter coming up will be Derek Bowling. He has 2 coaches, Brian Vaughn and Ronnie Wright. Ronnie will be the win coach. First shot on target 1 is a hit. Things starting off the correct way for Derek.
Yeah, this is a M99 Barrett. This is something you'd see in the military. It's pretty impressive that they're using a military weapon in this competition.
Another hit for shot number 2. Usually you don't use a military weapon, I assume.
Well, a lot of the weapons that we're using are match grade, specially built for this competition, and they're using the military issue M99 Barrett.
And a miss on shot number 3.
Check level. Point 1.
The 4th shot, he picks up a hit.
Check level.
Notice he just said check level. The reason that's important, if you don't keep your rifle level, you could end up missing the target right or left up to 5 to 6 inches at these distances.
Let's take a look at the results right here, and notice shot number 4 almost dead in the middle. Now, we caught up with Derek and asked him about pre-shoot preparation. What goes into that?
Oh yeah, you got to go out and get your velocity and your BCs, and then go out and enter it in a calculator and get your environmentals and do a lot of calculations. And then you got to go out and confirm that calculation. If it's wrong, you got to figure out what's wrong with your calculations, because we don't know the distance of any of the targets before we get out here. And you got to make first round hits at every target to really win this thing. So it takes a lot of practice. We got tons of hours getting information and calculating, and then going out and confirming and getting shots at distance. So if you're not ready, you're going to struggle.
.7.
So Derek will move on to target number 2 right now.
Derek's actually an engineer with Barrett. He understands all the ballistics and all the math that goes into this. So if these guys are well prepared, they can put it right in the middle here.
And a miss. He was way high on that one.
Yeah, spotting is so critical in this game. You have to be able to see these shots.
And another miss. One more try. If he doesn't hit this third one, pressure's on.
Check level.
And one more miss, so he will be out of competition, unfortunately. Here's what Derek did. Well, he did well on target number 1, but he's out of competition on target 2. We talked to him about maybe how the wind affected it.
Wind's a little switchy. We had some windage elevation problems, but the wind was kind of switching back and forth. We had a tailwind, so just kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit.
Well, at the end of 3 weeks of coverage, remember we're still in day 1. The windy conditions may make a difference. We only have 3 guys qualified for the final. Dan Palable, Paul Phillips, our own commentator, and the defending champion, Mitchell Fitzpatrick. The question is, as the conditions get worse, especially the wind, how many guys can make it into the final? You'll have to tune in next week to find out. Until then, I'm Ted Jones for Paul Phillips. Thanks for joining us. So long, everyone.